I stand before you, a stolen person on stolen land. I fight for the reclamation of my African heritage. I fight to reclaim the land and give it back to the true stewards of the planet, my Black and Indigenous siblings. The Portland metropolitan area rests on the traditional village sites of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Caslamet, Clackamas, Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Malala, and many other indigenous peoples. Peoples who have lived here for thousands of years along the Columbia. I acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still impact us all today. We must abolish these systems of oppression. Woo! We are here to fight for Black liberation, for Indigenous sovereignty. We demand reparations, and we will take the land back.
Hell yeah.
We have a really special lineup for you today. Up next, we're gonna have Jen Thompson.
Yeah, Jen! Okay. I know, here we go. Let me put Jen's app.
All right, y'all, I'm reading off my phone today, if that's cool.
Welcome to the live stream.
It's my first time speaking at an event like this. So
Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon.
My pronouns are she, hers. I was born, adopted, and raised in Hong Kong. I choose to identify as Hong Kongese, not Chinese, and as Asian, not Asian American. I wanted to take this space today to prioritize Black liberation and Indigenous sovereignty, and to do so by calling out my own community.
Abolition now.
If y'all weren't aware,
Tattoo
white folks make up
demonstration and live
77.1% of
performances
Portland's racial
at an art
demographics.
gallery in
The
Portland.
community that makes up the next largest percentage of
Let's see
Portland's
what happens to
population
be a
is
large
Asian,
family.
at 8.1%. Now, when I scan most protests, I take a look at how many white people are out in comparison to BIPOC folks. When I feel myself getting disappointed, I recognize that I need to take the number 77.1 into consideration.
She's out there deep in the streets of Oregon,
However, I
guys.
still find
Be
myself
sure
even
to go
more
over and
frustrated and
subscribe to
disappointed
her
with
channel and
the
show
Asian
her some
community
love
out
and
at
support.
protests, both at daytime and nighttime
Great
events.
job, PDX
More
Labs.
often than not, I can count the amount of Asians I encounter on one hand, if that. The model minority myth pushes the stereotype that Asian folks tend to stay soft-spoken, quiet, polite, and well-behaved. The fact that the Asian community in Portland is choosing to stay home, choosing to ignore the fight for Black liberation and Indigenous sovereignty, choosing to stay silent, that's pretty disgusting. We are literally perpetuating the model minority myth. And a not so fun fact, that myth was created literally to pit Black folks and Asian folks against each other. The characteristics that make up the model minority myth keep white people comfortable and keep Asian people more approachable. We were and have been the preferred marginalized community of color. This creates a divide between the Black and Asian communities because of the way white people demonize Black folks. And the myth communicated to Black folks that the idea that Asian folks were better than them in the eyes of white folks. This has also perpetuated the very clear and still ongoing anti-Black behaviors, attitudes, and mindsets within the Asian community. Now, bear with me as I'm going to lead y'all through a brief history lesson. As I'm sure a lot of y'all don't know, during the Tang Dynasty, Arab traders actually brought African slaves from East Africa to China, leading to many Chinese owning Black slaves. These slaves were referred to as Kunlun. They were described as lower class, ignorant, scary, and dangerous, similar to the way white folks view Black folks in this country. Although there were far more enslaved Chinese people, some wealthy Chinese preferred the Kunlun slaves. It was said that the perception of the Kunlun in the Tang Dynasty era were portrayed in numerous stories of the period as heroic, resourceful, and labeled as culturally Chinese. Unless they were a wealthy Chinese family, most Chinese people actually did not have much contact with these people. During the Song Dynasty, the number of African slaves increased in China, many of which lived in the Canton province, which, if you didn't know, is also close to Hong Kong. Now, this relationship between Africa and China shifted mainly due to trade, unfortunately due to the rise of Europe, also known as white folks, and colonial expansion. So it marginalized Chinese and East African contact. Now, instead of looking at each other as resources, they both turned to Europe and the West. So their trading relationship wasn't lost, but neither spaces were deemed as important to each other during this era or to the rest of the world. So the reason I wanted to give you all this history lesson is because it seems as though what's happening in the present isn't actually driving any Asians from Portland, from the Portland community to feel like they need to fight for Black lives. It seems like no matter what Black or Indigenous leaders speak to them, they still choose to stay home in their privilege. So maybe our common history with white Americans who owned slaves will be that motivation for the Asians of Portland. And as an Asian in Portland, let me speak to the Asian community of Portland directly. If you cannot recognize anti-Black behaviors and have those conversations with the Asian folks around you about their problematic actions, that's an issue that you need to fix, not for Black people to fix. If you don't feel as though being out here at Black-led events is important, as a marginalized community with privilege, that's your problem. Ask yourselves, why aren't you showing up for Black lives? Why aren't you angry at the injustices Black folks face just for existing? Show the fuck up, listen to the Black community, and recognize the privilege you hold as a non-Black person of color. This all has to do with abolition. As our cultures were Black slave owners, we have a responsibility to fight for a system that was derivative of a group of white folks set out to be slave catchers. And as much as we don't have literal slaves anymore, their foundation is laid in the bias to capture, brutalize, harm, and murder Black folks. If you feel that your history as an Asian person, your culture as an Asian person, your complicit silence as an Asian person doesn't contribute to the way that this society, these cops, these white people, and these Nazis treat Black folks, you need to do some serious reflecting. Thank you.
Give it up for Jen.
Hey!
She's become a very, very dear friend of mine, and she's very important to this movement. She constantly acknowledges her own internalized white supremacy and does whatever she can to acknowledge that and to educate and engage the people around her about that. Up next, we have someone who is also very dear to me, Koya.
Woo, Koya! We are outside this building. Nice and safe. Jedi is going to perform later.
I wish I was.
Shout out again to
Just
PDX
kidding.
Labs for putting this video out. Great job, PDX. Thank you
I
for
didn't say
sharing.
that.
Guys, again, be sure to go over and subscribe to her
I'm
channel.
Koya.
Show her some love and stay informed to what is going on out
I
here
wanna
in these
talk
Portland
about
streets, guys.
My
Thank you again
kids
for your love and
first.
support.
So I want to talk about the clock
Welcome,
that I hear.
Tosh Time, to the live.
There's
Welcome
this
in,
clock
Tosh
that's
Time.
it's ticking.
And of course, Tosh Time is
My
very, very
Afro-Indigenous
important to
son
the BLR
is
family.
less than 10 years
She's
away
out
from
there
being thought of as a threat
continuously
by fascist pigs.
feeding the homeless guys. So be sure to go
There's
over
no
and
time to
support
waste.
her. Donate
Every
to her
action
channel,
we take,
the
we must
Tosh
run
Time
towards Black
Homeless
liberation.
Foundation. She's not leaving
Total
one
abolishment
person
starts with
unfed,
actions
guys. Let's support
like
her.
the Red House.
And thank you again, Tosh Time, for all you
Because
do.
make no
to make
mistake,
sure
what
people are
happened there
being fed. That is so huge. Shout out to you.
was abolition. What happened there was the first steps. As we successfully block evictions and take back land, whether we're
Welcome in,
taking
Night
abandoned
Attack.
buildings
You got it.
or
Thank you
blocking
for popping in.
evictions, these are the first phases.
No caps though. Attack. My
I'm
bot
gonna end
hates
on
caps and
a
emojis.
poem.
Because some people spam.
I also
some
want to say
horrible
that I'm a
words,
direct
and it's
descendant
like they'll do it
of
like 10, 20
a
times.
Hashiman peoples
So the bot
indigenous to
doesn't like
Southern
those
California.
But
This
you're
is
more
not
than
my
welcome
ancestral
here,
land,
and you're welcome to
but
post.
this is the
Thank you
land I
again.
was displaced to. I have no old people left.
Welcome, Jerusalem, to the live. Welcome
The
in,
settlers
Jerusalem
have gone
Johnson.
wild, stealing a country,
And thank you for coming in
Committing
to continue
genocide.
to support.
committing land theft, enslavement. Their bloodlines consist of it. How empty they must be.
Thank you
A
again, Tosh
generational
Time,
void.
for telling everyone to thumbs up the live.
But our
My girl,
ancestors
Tosh. Thank you, sweetheart.
carry us we call on them fully. Pa'al, be like water. Pa'al.
LOL. That's right, Tosh. If they remove the caps, they'll be in good shape.
More speakers and
I love you, Koya. I wouldn't be here right now doing this without Koya.
Welcome, Veronica Arzona,
And I met
to the
Koya
live.
at the
Welcome
Red
in,
House.
Veronica. Thank you for coming in.
I
and
realized
support.
that my purpose was to fight to get the land back. And I realized that she was one of the people who's going to help me do that. We're in this fight, and we're going to find the comrades that are really for Black liberation. And those are the people that you need to stay with. Those are the people you need to follow. Those are the people you need to amplify. Up next, we have some music for you, Mars.
yeah,
Hey y'all.
yeah.
My name is Mars. I am a rapper, a singer, a songwriter, and I am a Portland born and raised. My parents are from Eritrea. The shirt that I'm wearing today is the 9 tribes that are in my home country of Eritrea. And I want you guys
That's where
to know
Nipsey
that
is
there's a
from,
war
guys.
going on in Tigray. In
Nipsey and his
Ethiopia.
family is from the same place.
And the Black people are struggling all over, not just here. We don't get peace wherever we go. We struggle wherever we go. So saying to leave this country is not an option for us. The first poem I would like to do before I get into any music is called False Prophets. Black lives matter, but not really at the Capitol. Black lives matter, but only when we're collateral. Black lives matter, they hear us when we scream and shout. White people riot while my people bleeding out. I remember the days I listened to false prophets, realized I idolized leaders with false knowledge. But I don't get mad just waiting on my jetpack to fly me out the hood, because most niggas just don't get that. Ain't no white picket fences, no 2020 Benzes. Niggas get mad when you show them real struggle and get defensive. Like, I worked for what I got. I worked to get my spot. Instead of keep going, nigga, give it all you got. They say to practice what you preach, so I preach in what I practice. Switched it up again, got real, and cut the ad-libs and gave it as is. Because when it's personal, I'm uncontrollable, I'm straight active. False prophets. And so this next song is a new song. It's called Heard About Me. Because we're too many months in for people to not understand what's going on. We're too many months in for people to say, I don't know where I fit in. You don't need to fit in. You need to be yourself and do whatever that means if it's for Black liberation, if it's for the liberation of all of us. So this next song is called Heard About Me. What you heard about me? I bet you niggas heard about me. For those that don't know me, I'm FAOCZ. Bet you heard about me. I bet you niggas heard about me. Check, look, ask me who I am, so I tell them. M to the Z, spell it out. And no
Hand up the lights, BLR family. If you haven't subscribed to Black Label Reviews, go ahead and do so at this time.
First and S later, while we scream and we shout, I'm fed up. I want to break the X up, niggas break fast, but only for a pay stub. I've become the snakes, I've been deep, but don't speak. Niggas scream, fuck the police, but don't mean it. Trust, believe, I was first hand to see it. Took Travis, took Patrick, Kevin, said you gon' see it. Try to take me, I'm going, kicking and screaming. Ain't no contest. Stop going 7 minutes to speaking. I don't want to say another, but somehow I keep repeating. Fuck QBD, I'm Bet you heard about me. I bet you niggas heard about me. For those who don't know me, I'm M-A-R-Z-Z. But you heard about me. I bet you niggas heard about me. I'm talking black liberation, black reparations, black owned, black led, black type relations, black owned everything, black exhalation, black generations of black education, money root of all evil. Do you believe that? Keep the feedback, but always asking me for feedback. Repeat that for the hand that said you, now you trying to reach back. M-A-R-Z-Z. Bet you heard about me. I bet you niggas heard about me. For those who don't know me, I'm M-A-R-Z-Z. Bet you heard about me. I bet you niggas heard about me. So that's a song that I haven't put out yet. So if you're here, you got a special ear. But it's coming out. I'm not saying the date yet, but you can follow my Instagram @_MARZZX. And you'll stay tuned to when that comes out. And I have a special surprise when that comes out. And this next song is
Don't forget we got that.
All in Due Time.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good song. They're all good.
Real ones stand up. E-Town. Cops killers, the labelers is killers. They hate our skin, but our culture is the illest. Now tell me, how does that make sense? If a cop thinking who gon' take the chance and try to stop you? What's the price of a black man life? Think it's priceless. Bill Gates can say enough. What's mine will be mine. All in due time. What's mine will be mine. All in due time. What's mine will be mine. All in due time. What's mine will be mine. Play my part, so I change my cards. Too typical, what you give is what you get, so what you give is what is critical. I'm checking it be quick and I ain't speaking on political. All in due time, what's mine will be mine. All in due time, what's mine will be mine. All in due time, what's mine will be mine. All in due time. You have to believe in yourself. You have to do it from the bottom of your heart. Because if you show up for other people, and if you don't know yourself, you can't know other people. If you won't fight for yourself, you can't fight for somebody else. Know what you're fighting for. Know what the end goal is. And if you don't know how to get there, then ask the people around you. Thank you.
And next we have Amber.
Amber, Spirit of Justice. I think we got snacks. Check it out.
Hey everybody, I'm Amber with Spirit of Justice, and I didn't write as much down, so I'm going to read one thing that inspired me, and then I'm just going to speak here. I've been thinking a lot about Angela Davis, and her words of wisdom are always comforting. She says, "We have to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. Black women have had to develop a larger vision of our society than perhaps any other group. They've had to understand white men, white women, Black men. They've had to understand themselves. When Black women win victories, it is a boost for virtually every segment of society." Been thinking about the last 500 years of what swimming in colonialization and supremacy really has done to us on an epigenetic level. And thinking about abolition, so much of Black liberation for me has come into reclaiming whatever is arising within myself. And it's been a journey to really connect with myself, because I recognize, both as someone that has colonized blood, my mother is Irish, my father is Ethiopian, that within my epigenetics, there is a lot to sift through. And abolition for me has really taken on the form of taking back my right to really love who I am. And so I've been practicing speaking to myself in a way that I know the colonizers would have never spoken to us. I've been practicing waking up in the morning and giving thanks for my imagination, for my creativity, for my joy, for my sorrow, for my ancestors, for myself, for my organs, for the work I'm doing, for the work that others are doing. And whenever I catch myself in a cycle of questioning if I'm important, if I'm good enough, if I'm showing up, I remember that all of that is training that was taught to my ancestors. And I practice my breath. I take back my control of my life by recognizing where my breath is, where my thoughts are, where my inspiration is. So much of the work that all of you and we are doing here is direct action work. We are on the front lines every single day in every single way that we can be, in whatever capacity we are inspired to. So many of us have linked our humanity with one another in a really, really powerful way. And that means that we show up on the streets every single day. And that is exhausting on a molecular and a cellular level. So when I think about abolition work, I think about all of us and Black, Indigenous, Brown, people of color identifying, and really all people choosing to reclaim the way that we even think about ourselves, that we speak about ourselves, the way that we breathe life into ourselves, the way that we speak about our communities, the way that we bring a sense of appreciation and reverence and joy for the people who are walking this journey in this part of the path with us. So for me, abolition work is so much of the teasing out the ways in which I am swimming in supremacy of whiteness and colonialization, and really flooding my sensorium with a reminder of how sacred our people are. And every single day remembering to uplift my thoughts higher, to connect with my breath, and to keep on because we are here in this time that is seemingly unprecedented in so many ways, and it has a purpose, and that purpose is for all of us to really, really dig deep and root ourselves in what real liberation looks like. And so real liberation looks like We have to practice on all ends, decolonizing ourselves and reconnecting with our roots.
Yes.
So thank you for.
Thank you, Amber.
Give it up one more time, Amber. When I say abolish the police, I mean it with every fiber of my being. We cannot reform a system that was specifically designed to oppress and annihilate Black people. A system that is deeply rooted in anti-Black hatred that has existed since the beginning of time. Our current system of policing evolved from slavers working the slave trade to officers empowered by the state to shoot us dead in the streets. Officers who commit murder and obscene acts of violence against other humans that bleed and breathe just like them are protected, honored even for the atrocities committed against us. Our identities are criminalized, our communities terrorized, and it's all justified by an indoctrinated assumption of guilt based on nothing more than the proximity to our African heritage and the illusion of white supremacy. White supremacy does not allow for you to see us as fellow human beings, but rather subhumans meant to be dominated, exploited, and to further cultivate and develop capitalism. Capitalism is racist and cannot exist without slavery.
Woo!
Those of us who punch a time clock are slaves ourselves. The labor of our bodies is being used to produce product that will be sold for profit. The first industrial revolution was slavery. My people were bought and sold to produce products in mass quantities in order to build capital for their masters. The overseers and the plantation hands are the managers and supervisors you work for now. The masters are the businessmen and politicians that rule over us now. Our city and government employ a police force in order to protect their interests, to maintain businesses and protect property, exactly like slave catchers patrolling the countryside looking for runaway slaves. We're all slaves to the current system. Abolishing the police is essential to the liberation of not only Black people, but all human beings on this planet.
Woo! Thank you, Regina! Yes! 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 Oh, look, we're done with the tattoo! Oh my goodness. Oh, Jordan's gonna perform. while we wait. North Jordan.
Pound up the likes, BLR family, and be sure to drop a comment below after the stream.
Up next, we have Jordan Fletcher. Remember the picture of him?
Oh, I'm good, thank you, though.
It's all
They
right.
have burritos. I probably should wait till you
Just kidding. Just kidding. So close.
Oh, my phone. Should I?
Me?
Should I?
I was like, I'm not a rapper.
Just told Jordan that somebody said that he has no bars. He's gonna have to show him.
I don't have no bars, man.
Look at this cutie.
I'd also like to introduce you, my very best friend, Akechi. The fuck? Hit him up on Twitter. There's traps all day. But this Negro pay his rent. Their rent.
Regina.
Sex work is work, people.
Yes.
Y'all give it up.
You
one
got an
time for me.
Aquafina.
Y'all give it up one time for me.
Oh my
Nigga sounds like Kathleen.
Hey, nigga, y'all didn't really give it the fuck up for Raise Off. For real. Let's give it up.
We love you, Regina.
Hold this motherfucker down. Straight in. How y'all doing today?
We're good.
Y'all doing good? It's good to see y'all through a glass, y'all.
That
Good to
Naruto
see y'all.
jacket? He's in a
It's
Naruto
feel like a visit.
jacket.
No, I'm playing. My name is Jordan Fletcher. I'm from the north side of Portland, and I'm gonna do some songs for y'all today if y'all don't mind. Is that okay? I see. Are you ready? Okay, all right. Yeah, more recently we just moved, and you know what I'm saying? We got some new shit coming on the way. I'm about to do some new songs today. So.
Hell yeah.
Some shit. Rage has heard them before, and they're Rage approved. Right? Yes, they are. Oh shit.
I don't touch it.
The song I'm gonna do for y'all today is a song that means a fucking great deal to my heart, man. This song is really about our struggle, you know what I'm saying? This is the best way I feel like I can say it. Can you turn it up a little bit? Like, feeling it? Yeah, let's run that back. Let's start that up. Is it possible to
Louder.
Your mic is loud.
possible to raise the volume a little bit?
Turn the music up.
It's cool. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do it. Okay. All right.
DJ Bandito, go save us.
Yeah. There we go. A little higher even. Just, y'all hear me still?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, yo.
What they say, I ain't feeling that sick and seeing my brothers get murdered when they was innocent, more using their privilege more times than not. They never finished their sentences. I'm a kid, you big a bitch, and the way you consider this. Why is it always coincidence? Hey, 8 minutes and 46. 8 minutes and 46 seconds, my nigga please had his knees on his neck when he said he couldn't breathe. Can't believe the motherfucker only got charged in the 3rd degree. Corrupt the fucking system, probably about to set up free. So when I burn down the building, there's ain't nothing wrong with me. Middle finger extended to any nigga that's feeling, cause I'm a nigga that I don't deserve a thing. Mama told me be careful selling you whipping the police, but really tripping and not murdering anything. Shit is funny how when this shit happen, they say don't move along, but up and on when they see bust the windows and moving talk. They'll right when we come to settle scores, cause another brother was murdered due to this as a cause. I'm live on the go to their doorstep. Tired of white folks telling us how to protest. Till you see your people in the system and don't press sit there for 9 minutes, we can try to hold your breath. Showing y'all the energy, if you don't stand with me, the motherfucker, you an enemy. I'm not afraid to be hard, so shit, I let them know. Funny how we Black Lives Matter, and they color show. And they said they on the road, Breonna Taylor Jack, cause they raided the wrong fucking home. 8 shots before they realize it's the wrong target. I'm supposed to go to y'all in my apartment. Understand when the limit is, they only care about our culture when it's to their benefit. Still our ideas and then they
For
don't
those
give a
of you
shit.
just
Then
joining
we tell
the
them how
live,
we feel, they say
we
the
are
same thing.
reviewing Ordinary
Regina.
Black Lives Matter Abolition and Tatoo demonstration
Yeah.
and live performances.
Yeah.
Be sure to drop a comment
I felt that
below
in my heart. I'm
after
sorry.
the stream, and also feel free to indulge in the chat. If you haven't subscribed to Black Label Reviews,
Y'all fucking with
Go
that?
ahead and hit us up at this time.
I'm sorry, man. This is the last
And
part to that.
smash
Man.
that post
The song is
notification
emotional
bell.
sometimes, and I'm sorry for not finishing that
As
shit
soon as
out.
we're
but-
live, you will receive an
Man,
immediate
y'all motherfuckers really
notification.
don't get it. It takes niggas to go storm the Capitol for niggas to understand that these niggas is been doing what the fuck they want to do.
Everybody.
And I feel like niggas only hear that shit when it's over a beat or something. Niggas don't really give a fuck when it's on TV.
Thank you
Niggas
for
is
your love
dead.
and support, BLR family.
And that's some real
We
shit,
want to
man.
know what you're thinking.
I'm sorry, that's on my heart.
Feel
I had to
free
get that out.
to indulge in the chat and drop a comment
What's the
below
next song?
once
I'm
again. After
This next song I'm gonna do. Thank you. This next song I'm gonna do is. Do you have a new joint? We're gonna do this one, yeah.
Whoa, 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 hey, niggas posted off the block today. Pray to God I don't get locked away. Yeah, they almost got me, got away. That's what happened when your mama prayed. Trapping nowhere, they no other way. Saying they trapping for another day. In their house like it's a holiday. I'm Santa Claus, I hold a lot of weight. Now 30 feet from me, I need some space. Bitches always jumping in my face. Jordan, we go on a date. Bitch, when this money can't fit in the safe. Get the homies, we go ride the block. Bitch, I need my paper like I'm Michael Scott. Don't speak aloud, I'm in my mother. I gotta grind until I get them. Helicopter, make some niggas all new to me. They never do what they say they gon' do to me. See, I'm up every rapper with the eulogy. Got them all lined up with the shoot. Most people like, who is he? I prove to be the truth indeed. The bad game with the stupid me. You never know MC. You come and murder me because you niggas weak. Why these niggas all sound the same? So you can see a whack rap niggas get accolades. I mean, they wasn't on my level, but I had to wait. I had to pray. I gotta let me have the day. Why did I need them to congratulate? You can tell me that I'm happy. Straight, you gonna flow high. I have to shame. Nigga, back to the block. Strap the day. Yeah. Almost got me, got away. That's what happened when your mama played. Shopping, no, it ain't no other way. Say the shopping for another day. In their house like it's a holiday. In their house like it's a holiday. I almost got me, got away. That's what happened when your mama prayed. Shopping, no, it ain't no other way. Say the shopping for another day. In their house like it's a holiday. In their house like it's a holiday.
I almost busted my ass. That Mike said was trying to take me out. Oh, you? Y'all fuck with this so far?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Come join
I need y'all motherfuckers to start
us.
moving though. So I'm finna get y'all motherfuckers moving. Hey, I want you niggas like, you ain't gotta run into each other, nigga, but just motherfucking rock with me, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking rock with me, my nigga. Slang, how you doing? Hey! Hey, I dropped this shit on New Year's Eve, so. Hey! Hey, real quick. When I say try on motherfucker, you ain't saying shit with pizza. On the block, trying to go and get some cash. Like I'm a guy, go and fuck up someone there. Bitch, I been that nigga trapping over 40 days. Bitch, I been that nigga trapping over 40 days. I ain't hit the dirt, I'm gon' pick up. Bitch, I need all your work, yeah, while it clean. Pump out what it's worth, checking pockets first, but Chopper made him scream. Call his mama Freddie Mercury. I just killed a man and got some for free. That's what it do. On the nose, smoking on the. I always kill something from the camera. I can't fuck with you. Niggas steady chasing for some time. That's what summers do. I never move. Hey, like I'm gonna die. Bitch, I been that nigga. Hey, bitch, I been that nigga trapping. You niggas on these things, they ain't just always change. Really do nothing. They gon' compensate. They overcompensate. Bitches on things cause they know that they. I know they full of it. They doing shit, don't need a mask. They won't figure out who it is. I'm up the press out, homie, cause you's the next. We tryna go to 6 better song. It's a ruler, it's up with that nigga shit.
Heard that it's capable of ruthless and shorty gon' shoot him like he taught him with the flow. I'm hitting for 38, I'm on the road, he gon' be our first 48. Somebody said he try to build a case. Yeah, 48.
Take some water. Y'all fuck with that? Man, tell COVID to go away, man. COVID. Ooh. I'm sorry. That was my first time performing it, man. That shit felt good, man. Y'all having fun? Y'all give it up for Slam, man. This is amazing. Give it up. This is amazing. I'm glad to see everybody here. Give it up for Corey. Give it up, man. Give it up for everybody again. You should be praising the ground they walk on. Let's do this. What we got?
Burritos, coffee as well.
Doing another song, so hey, if you guys want to bounce with me, come on, man. Just go ahead and dance with me, baby.
Ooh.
Super gang, hey, super shell, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do it.
Hey, yo. Hey. Hey. Niggas tryna ball out to you say some folks on me as a dead man. Better go and get your ransom, niggas. It's still not time, little nigga. You can learn a lesson, no time. The bitches on me, your best. Shorty tryna send a bitch, I ain't even take back. And then I got this. With your head out, I'm over in the city, I'm a beer. Cause I live for the north side, too. Cause I live for the north side. Hey. Niggas going home to my little set back. I'm on the damn down. Niggas you can back back. Hey. Yeah. So I'm a bit about it, you be that is the bitch if you ever down it. Can't relate to the view when it's on the granite. I be asking the spot with the top of granite, man, you know what the fuck. They wanna fuck, I'm so sick and the push out the fuck, I'm shit up the game and it's only the summer. Somebody tell these niggas that they love, I'm waiting on ya. When I need money, I need it all. I hit the corner and serve me a draw. These two ass police be fucking my walls. When I need that help, I didn't know it. So I'm about to rap and they hit on my doors. We don't get involved, but I'm with this shit if it's y'all niggas need to jump quick, bro. Wait, so I'm about a little focus. Broke down pretty fast, I'm about to focus. Cause I know I'm so rude and nasty. And I'm the only fuck, no freeze. Every time I'm in the car just to get a bullshit. But I'm the use of bullshit. So get on my line, nigga, out of my dick. Cause a nigga from the north side. Hey. Nigga going out to the little setback. Go on the tail, nigga use the fat jack. Cause a nigga from the hey. Bitch. No, 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 no. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Those are some great performances. Look
Is it
at
great
that.
one?
Oh, this one though. This is my favorite. He does Paranoid.
I'm just gonna grab it real quick. What we doing? I can do it right here. Bang range.
Woo! Yeah. Numbers looking good. Look at this cutie.
I gotta make a song with that voice so y'all can say it.
Yeah.
I do this shit throughout the house every day. Man, this nigga be, yeah. Oh, and we need Torn on the song. Actually, I got an idea though. Actually, I want to talk to you about it. I got an idea.
Here we go.
Can this go up a little louder or is it might come in loud? Niggas wanna see me lose cause I'm trying to win. If y'all know me by my name, then nigga, you ain't a friend. I just wanna hit a lick, I'm trying to do it again. About to run the numbers up, bitch, I need paper to spend. My sins. Only say my police that I'm killing my police look around the city trying to murder my kid. And you know they really want me. Go ahead and look at my skin. I know they like to pretend like they don't know what I'm worth. Selling them my melanin on the motherfucking curse. That's why I keep a Glock on me and so gon' be on the shirt. My nigga, why the fuck you think I'm in the streets? Ain't a police in my city got me. I'm a north side nigga making. Do it to these niggas, I ain't have a choice. Why the fuck you think I'm in the streets? Paranoid. The police in my city got me. If they pull up on this nigga, we gon' yeah. Niggas talking shit, they telling lies again. That's why I keep it pushing. I don't pay no mind to them. If they're not pull on the plow, we gon' slide on them. Bitch, I got it at the rock like word of Paris. You look at me and probably feel like where my mind a bit. They be the closest niggas trying to block and shine and shit. Off the block, my nigga, I see no kinds of shit. This homies trying to gas him up, but did he? I wish a motherfucker would try to say some shit. Pulling up with the gang, I'm the dangerous. Same super lame, middleweight just get saying thing on my name, on my makeup bitch. Make me sick, that's why it's on my brothers died off of nothing and they ain't say shit. Not everyone got the chance. Reason why I never clean nigga Trayvon kid. Cause I done been holding it down up that avenue. Still motherfucking police with it. I'm sick of trying to play cool and hella casual. All the casualties make her harassing me. It ain't no limit to this shit, they talking masterpiece.
There's definitely a lot of talent within the Black Lives Matter movement. I agree,
in the streets, straight paranoid. To my city, got me paranoid. I'm a north side nigga making hella noise. Why you doing to these niggas? Why the fuck you think I'm in the streets paranoid? Police in my city got me. If they pull up on this nigga, we gon' honestly why I did it, I ain't have a choice, nigga. That shit crazy.
Inspired by the feds.
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? I'm gonna do some thoughtful shit. Some shit to provoke your thoughts. Yeah. My head, telling you, please don't shoot. Make the wrong move, and the nigga might end up dead. Yeah, for my life through the night, cause I don't want to die to no scary ass nigga with a badge. Real shit, my nigga really got me mad. The stop on the block with blocks in the mag. Try to see who need back for the it's a trap, but why you think they call it a trap? But daddy gon' never ain't no call in the back. That's why I take trips, leaning off on the tag. If I did, then I wouldn't get the cash. If I did that, then I wouldn't get it. That's why when I get it, nigga, I'ma give it back. Cause I know somebody back there that ain't never told me cap. My nigga look at me living in the city with me. Cause the nigga niggas trying to commit suicide. They be shooting niggas down and we better scared of shit. Give it 100 on me, they never had a chance. See me as a nigga and it's only off the class. Super baby crossing my career through my bed. It's really not. Shit not too different. We been in the streets screaming for weeks and nobody listening. Maybe we wishing it. All could be different, but nobody listening. And shit not too different. Nah, shit ain't too different. Shit ain't too different. Been in the streets screaming for weeks and nobody listening. Maybe we wishing it. It could be different, but nobody listening. Shit ain't too different, nigga. I ain't
I ain't gotta tell you what it is. You can see it every single day, just how it is. All the hate the leaves when you riding on the bench. People who you trust, people who you call a friend. Yeah!
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? How you doing? My nigga, man. Oh, man. I had a heavy heart today, y'all. I had a heavy heart. A lot of shit going on, man. If y'all got anything on you, man, I just want y'all to pay Gary. Pay Gary, man. And pray for Gary, man. For real. Anything you got, man, because that shit makes my heart hurt. For real.
Gary was
Hey, what
injured.
happened? For people that don't
He
know.
was injured.
Oh, for those that don't know, in Salem, Gary was fucking jumped by a bunch of fascists and got hurt very badly, like critical condition very badly. So for those that don't know, like I assume everybody knows because if you wasn't out, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you should know. So pay Gary, man. Pray for Gary.
Cash up.
Was this cash out? Was Gary's cash out?
BLM number 4 ever G.
BLM
Number 4 ever G.
forever G.
And that's the cash app. Okay.
BLM forever G. Okay. BLM forever G. Like cash out and download.
Let me type it up.
All right. It was, man, that was like school all over again. I was like, fuck. Yeah, so BLM forever G. Yeah, yes.
We got it.
County. 2. Sorry.
Okay, momentary pause to appreciate Pretty Cloud.
All right, so we got a song coming up. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. This is. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. All right, have a good time. And this will get more white people here instantly. We're gonna go dead song. Hey, some of them niggas go boom. Hey, we gonna go dead song. No, we ain't gotta get it soon. No, nigga can't press restone. No, nigga will pull him with a chopper out the window with his hand, nigga let it go. Hey, nigga can't tell me move. No, nigga man, you don't not close. When a man room got close, watch you in room, put you down dead in the song. Wait, ain't you the nigga they talking about? Ain't you the one that be running your mouth? From what the homies that told me, you probably went talk to the police, so leave me, you know me. I don't wanna speak to no nigga that's talking to Joey. Only with 30s, I am nigga deal with his homies. I'm not with you niggas, and no, I'm not sorry for shooting shit. I don't shoot the shit. If we pull up on niggas, we shoot the shit. If we pull up in church, you know where he went. Hey, shout out to me, niggas don't win. Yeah. Hey, you gonna go dead soon. I'm gonna go so far, it's right, it's right there.
Hey! Yeah.
I love you, Diamonds.
Send me the intro.
Huh?
Send it to me.
I can't even hear you, nigga.
Send me the intro.
Alright. Yeah. Yo, how y'all feeling? Should I do one more? One more, though.
You guys want to hear one more?
Yeah, that one.
You guys want to hear him do one more song? Or should I end the live? Okay, we gonna listen in.
Bitch, I heard you wasn't live. See you black and we let it pop. Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't live. Heard you working and you talking to the cops. Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't live. Oh, they say you getting money, need to stop. Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't live. You gon' drop if you pull up to my block. I'm not no rap nigga, bitch, I'm just a trap nigga that happen to rap. If a nigga say something, then look, can we make it that? Know some niggas in the field that ain't never make it back. If you ain't one of the homies, then I need my money. They shining, they be blinding, they like, what the fuck is that? If a nigga got a problem, tell him you know where it's at. And they know where the chocolate is, they come to where we at. Lay inside back, and that nigga running like a lab rat. Fucking bad, bitch, I need a back. Chopper hit for 21 like I was playing blackjack. Bad back before that back clap. You niggas is bad man, bitch, I'm assed up like I'm Mad Max with a black listen now, can we let it pop? Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't out. You working, then you talking to the cops. Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't out. All that say you getting money need to stop. Hey, bitch, I heard you wasn't out. You niggas just living with fans. I pray that you never get fed. You know you just rats and no can. I'm my bread, I'm living the land. Let your head, leave me dead. Pull up on niggas like bullets in his life. Try to call it deep out to Jesus, can't sit to get advice. All these niggas keep on reaching on me, I'ma have to pull a dice. Yeah, niggas pull up on me, once or twice. Fuck them on the shot. Paramedics on the block. Now I'm running from the cops. But just took a couple shots. All because he wasn't out. Heard he wasn't out. I heard he wasn't out. After this song. After this song. That shit crazy. So, we gotta fuck Activist John real quick. 1, 2, 3.
Activist John!
Yeah, dude.
If you don't know, don't worry about it. He's nobody. How's it going?
Yeah, he's talking to live.
Yeah, of course. Are we getting one more? That's good to see you too.
Actually, I want to do something. I want to do something. I want to do like, it's all good. Let's do it's all good.
You forgot there's a live tattoo demo.
Yeah, I would use too. Took a chance on myself. I thought it was worth it. Practicing day and night to memorize these verses. Mama telling me to get my beat alive. Keep in mind, these niggas want my spine. They want my slice of pie. My dollar sign, my passion and my pride. Where I get my time, nigga. Hey, where you get yours? I'm trying to think about things the same way as before. Hey, me knocking at doors, can I sleep on the floor? What's the point in having skin if you need a good score? My niggas ran around the block just to go hit the store. Sure, they like to say that they understand me, but then they turn around and tell me go get a play of me. Maybe work on that office spot so I can be standing, but that ain't too friendly, so I keep this shit in. Most of these niggas envy. Keep your eye on the look and keep your pride to the side like you was holding a book, and keep your paper together like you was holding a book. And when it's like it should, just know you might. Good. Hey, but y'all can sing that shit, sing it. Hey, but it's all good, yeah. But it's all, that shit spill on my, it's all good, yeah. It's all good. Hey. I took the moments from my past I thought would probably last. I grabbed my pen and pad, pulled out my heart while they just poured a glass. This for the kid who stuck in class and studied feeling bad cause he ain't seen his dad, ain't too sure when he coming back. This for the mama working still trying to pay the bills, that's trying to keep her composure after her son was killed by the Harvey Hill. These fucking cops, they never feel no guilt. What else can you feel when you live in a system that wasn't built for you and your color? My sisters and brothers, I love you to death. And I'm gonna shine with every breath. Inside your mental is potential, you ain't gotta juke it for this. So when life ain't its best, my nigga never forget. But it's all, yeah, but it's all. Hey, I know I said so. Hey, but it's all good. Yeah, but it's all. Yeah, but it's all. Hey, but it's all. Yeah, but it's all. It's gonna be all good, y'all. We still here. We still here. We're gonna get through this shit. Look at Slang. I'm Jordan Fletcher from the North Side. Thank y'all for letting me spit it, man. Thank y'all for letting me share my voice, share my trauma. So I think what we're gonna do now, you want me to invite people? If niggas gonna cipher, oh no.
The tattoo's done. The tattoo's done. I want to see the tattoo.
I know I'm working my business. Working my kids and niggas been talking shit that they ain't yagging. These niggas different. I do not listen unless you don't listen. How you feeling? No. What you feeling? No. Whoa. These niggas feel up the show. Baby, I'm letting them know. Hey, this is all over the dome. Hey, take niggas in your law. That is no place in this home. Wait. Hey, please don't get low. These niggas talk to the bureau. Hey, I am my people with dollars, my team, and y'all like the hero. Tell me. Hey. Yeah.
I think I'm going to end the live and post it. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all of you.
Shout out again to PDX Labs, guys. Be sure to go over and subscribe to her
I'm the
channel.
vessel that contains
We're
their
going to
rage.
go ahead and switch
I stand
streams,
before
guys.
you, a
Stand by.
stolen person on stolen land. I fight for the reclamation of my African heritage.
Okay, now that's the beginning of the rally, guys. So be sure to come back to this video and check out the beginning if you missed it. Thank you again for your love and support, BLR family. And we're going to switch over to Seattle to see what went on there yesterday. There was a protest, and we need to see what had happened. So let's get into that.
Friday night back march, bitches. I'm gonna try to see if I can wipe the screen a little bit. 12 said fuck. Fuck, I say fuck SPD. Please matter.
And we're in Seattle, Washington. Guys, this was the Fright Night.
So they blocked me from my Facebook, so
We're going to read.
it'll be off tonight though.
What went down there in Seattle last night?
Fuck 12, say fuck SPD.
Protest movement. Count up the
Fuck
likes.
12, say
Drop
fuck
a comment
SPD.
below after the stream.
Fuck 12, say fuck SPD. Total abolition. Total abolition.
Chris. Happy New Year. I got blocked from my Facebook for my streaming page yesterday, so. Hey, Mirror Bear. Hey, Mirror Bear. We have the power. We have the power. Prove it. So use it. Gotta prove it. Prove it. All these people just standing around eating. Yeah, it is. It told me I violated community standards, but didn't tell me what I violated. They just kicked me off my stream and erased it. Can't keep a good bitch down, because here I am. Partners, pay homage.
Shout out to Black Action Coalition. Guys, be sure to go over and subscribe to their channel. They're in the streets with this movement as well.
Prove it.
Go over and show them some support.
Sorry guys, I gotta put something away in my backpack. Alright guys, sorry. Put on too many layers sometimes. Yeah, they deleted my stream. Some I don't want to even talk about it because I'm so scared of getting blocked again. I know what they're gonna start doing to me, so I'm thinking of like setting up a Twitch account. Thank you. Fuck, I'm clumsy as fuck. I know. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I do get the last life, Chris. You're right, because here I am in, bitches. You're not drunk off your ass today, are you, bitch? Well, wonder no more. No, I got on Facebook. Yeah, because I streamed through back too. It's her phone. Well, because she's showing me. No one's ever gonna disrespect women in my presence. Like, fuck no. Especially my homies. Like, if I got. I know. Put it down. Shut it. Shut it down. Shut it down. You really got some rain here, homie? No. Are you? We have the power. 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 Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. Did I put that we're live Seattle? Hold on. Oops, sorry. Total abolition. Oh no! Why is it not letting me pin the comment? There we go. Fuck this up. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here. Native lives, they matter here. Native lives, they matter here. Damn, this mask makes me too sweaty. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, guys. Native lives, they matter here. System. No bad protesters in a revolution. No good cops in a racist system. Yeah, share the stream. Thought they could block me. Suckers. Yeah, that's hella fucked up though. Hey, Paul. Oh, bad. Is that a pan? A pan. You got cooking pan out here. Yeah, that was really whack. It's okay, it's only 24 hours, but I have a feeling they're gonna be douches to me from now on. Sorry about the lights. To share a little bit of my thoughts on what's on everybody's mind is the white terrorists that stormed the Capitol on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And they are white terrorists. All right? I want to be clear about that. I want to be very, very clear. I thank you all for continuing to come week after week and continuing to support Black Action Coalition because we are fighting for Black and Indigenous lives, and we are people that are truly oppressed. What you saw in the Capitol Wednesday, those were people who were fighting for their right to control people who are oppressed. The people that want to control are not oppressed people. They are not victims.
Facts.
They are racist bigots
Facts.
who should be arrested.
Oh, there's outrage. Trust me.
To the forces of the world. Because
Facts.
we all know if they were Black, Muslim, Indigenous people, they would have been shot. They would break the fucking door.
Facts. Facts. What do you mean a bloodbath?
And I know many of you saw the faces of these girls
Mm-hmm.
who really think they're privileged, really did show because none of them were arrested. Times when we marched to the East Precinct, to the West Precinct, times we marched on Capitol Hill, how many of our comrades have been arrested for simply protesting for human rights? How many? Let me see.
Lost count. Lost count.
But what we did see was white privilege showing us. And we had politicians, news analysts saying,
There was politicians
"This is not
storming
America.
too.
This is not what it is."
Ha ha.
And we have to really open our eyes to what Black, Indigenous, and people of color are saying. Because you have been saying that if it was us, we would have been killed. When the BLM protesters marched to the Capitol, when they tried to march to the Capitol this summer, there were so many armed security, so many armed police that would have shot anyone that they dared step foot in the state. They would have shot and killed them. And these white parents feel like they can do whatever it is that they want, and they don't suffer any repercussions. And what we need to really understand is not all racist people look like hillbillies from the South. I live in the South. You know what those people really look like? They are our lawyers, they are judges, there were politicians that were
Yeah, there was politicians storming that shit too.
owned a large grocery store in Louisiana, a predominantly Black neighborhood that was out there protesting.
Chad, you go home. You go somewhere
They are
else.
supervisors, these are people that work in tech, these are people that work in grocery stores, these are people that work in factories. And let's be very clear. What happened on Capitol Hill, in the Capitol, on Wednesday, shows why we should abolish the police, because they listened in!
Facts! Yeah!
This is why the police, they will never quit, because it is still built white supremacy, and it is still the biggest! Every
Facts!
single press of every
Facts! 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 Talk that shit.
So we have to continue to fight. We have to keep applying pressure to let them know we mean business. Because those people show them that they meant business.
Facts.
But that's not going to deter Black, brown, and Indigenous people from marching to the streets, fighting for the right, because they're the people that are oppressed.
Facts.
They're the people that are suffering under the hands of those white parents.
Chad vibe.
BIPOC people have been just fighting for the right to live.
Not today.
And the fact that those people that marched to the Capitol said this is their country is crazy to me, because this is indigenous land. Every ounce of America is indigenous land.
You're welcome.
Black people built this, and all of our other people calling built this as well. They did not build shit. They can't even pick their own fruit.
Hey, Kathy.
They
Facts.
can't pick their own gardens. They
Facts.
can't even build their own lawn.
Facts. Facts.
My black people are the reason why America continues to fucking thrive.
Facts. Every day. This is the nightly B Black Action Coalition March.
When we're marching for something. We're marching for reuniting the better tomorrow for our kids.
Yeah, not today.
People that march here, they are only marching for their self-interest to keep control, to keep the fucking boot in our neck. And I say, fuck that!
Fuck that!
We are not going to continue to keep allowing them to do this. And another thing I want to say is, before we move, politicians will not save us. I don't care if they're Democrats. They will not save us. Because they're politicians, they were marching with them as well too. And they have their own self-interest. They have their lobbyists and everything that kill their
Hey,
fucking
Jen.
party. So do not think politicians will save us. Do not think Biden is all here. Living those people
I
in
just have
smart.
babies in the back there.
What? They have stopped. We're getting into
I know.
That's the way why do you self-control?
There's like a couple babies. I don't know, I think I'm baby crazy.
Community will save us.
What's wrong with
We
me?
will save ourselves.
Yes! Yes!
So that's all I got to say right now. Because that was just a lot I had to get off my chest. Because it is affecting so that it makes me cry. To think about the people that have lost their lives fighting for justice. Summer Taylor was fighting for justice. So many people that were killed this summer were simply fighting for justice.
Right, Jen?
And I know this may not be right, but the people who were at that building were being practiced. I know it hurts for their families. I know it hurts for their friends. But black, indigenous people have been
It is a big crime.
for over 400 years.
Talk that shit!
For over 400 years. But trying to stay safe and trying to just keep going. But fuck that. We ain't gonna keep going. We're not gonna keep going the old way. We're going the new way. We're starting over a whole new revolution.
Yes!
This year, 2021, is the time to enact change.
Yes!
Fight for what's going on.
Oh my god, I literally blocked somebody and I think they came back again because they're a stalker.
They are armed and they are ready to declare war on us. And we all have to stick together because we will save ourselves.
Yes! Big time. Hi, Jen. Hi, Kathy. I just want to say
So let's go. Toss the ball up. Let's go. Alright, we got 2 minutes out here. So we got Bobby getting in position. Let's have everybody start bringing it back together to the middle. Moving on me. Everybody.
a new revolution.
Rally. Nice and easy.
I wonder if, hold on, I'm trying to see something. Hold on, guys. Hold on. It's not raining or cold. Sorry. Asshole. Maybe for Florida it's cold. It's not cold for us today. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. These cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. These racist cops have got to go. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. All cops are bastards. All cops are bastards. B-A-B. Again. All cops are bastards. All cops are bastards. Cops are bastards. All cops are bastards. SPD, take accountability. SPD, take accountability. Yes, the streets are blocked by our car brigade. They keep us safe. END, qualified immunity. END, qualified immunity. END, qualified immunity. Yeah. END, qualified immunity. END, qualified immunity. END, qualified immunity. END, qualified immunity. Take accountability. END, qualified immunity. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. It's a revolution.
It's a revolution. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. Middle fingers to the law. Say no, no to the purple. Say fuck soul, say fuck I. Say fuck SPD. Fuck 12, fuck ICE. I know, so cute, so freaking cute. Fuck 12, say fuck the police. Fuck 12, say fuck the police. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power. Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. All day. All day. All day. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. It's on I Got You Coalition. Facebook page. Thank you. Yeah. I got blocked from my page yesterday. Yeah. Native lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here.
Make some noise, Seattle. Are y'all tired? Are y'all tired? I don't know. I think I'm outdated some of y'all. Y'all sound like I can't follow them. Y'all getting tired?
No! No! Hey! We're just getting started.
Over 400 years, colonization, genocide, slavery, medical malpractice. This is what we're out here for. To expose these big corporations, banks, and all other types of businesses who are out here who put their hand in the fucking pot, who are benefited from genocide and slavery. This is what we're out here for. We're here to expose them. SPD ain't nothing but a fucking pawn. And that's what the fucking damn public service. We got too goddamn happy. So now we in their ass, and they don't like it. And we're going to continue to keep our foot in the ass. Because, yeah, we don't want no more. I can honestly say we have successfully dragged these motherfuckers to the point that we ain't feeling these motherfuckers when we feel no more.
Facts.
You know, shit, when I'm out and about on my own and I see anyone pulling over, I'm pulling over. What the fuck is going on?
Facts.
Everything all right. I mean, this is the shit that we talk about when we got our community. You know, this is the stuff that we gotta do. Just somebody checking in. When somebody's having an encounter with an officer to save somebody's life. You know, you thought it was smart to just pull out your phone and record, but that doesn't do nothing. They still continue with that. And then they still don't be held accountable. So yeah, start getting up close and personal. We done been there with them. They shaking. about a couple hundred, 200 cops less than what they had when all this shit started. And this is thanks to every single one of y'all that's been out here. So just keep that in mind. When people say who has the power, we say we got the power like we really do. This shit is shaking. This shit is trembling. So let's continue to educate ourselves, educate our neighbors, our family members. You know, so we get everybody on the same way. But when this shit happens, we on the right side of history. We'll all have our names written in books.
Facts.
Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter.
Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter. Every day. Chris over here on his little megaphone. 100% at least. 100% at least. To black communities. No new youth death. Danny Durkin to resign. Danny Durkin to resign. We have the power. 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 Now bad protest has been a revolution. No good cops in a racist system. Amber, my brown sister, are you in here? Tatoo. Yeah, it's a good sized crowd. Warm streets. Warm streets. Warm streets. There are things that all about charity, as like our coalition, we're all about, making sure that we hear from everybody. So, and so please give it up for these two Black women. And would like to share with you what's going on, what Press people are really going through. So let's give them a round of applause. Please, let's do it. Hi everyone, my name is Fadila. I come from the ethnic minority of Tigray, which is from Ethiopia. So Tigray is currently the northernmost region of Ethiopia. It has a population of 10 million people, and those 10 million people are currently at risk of genocide. This is another Rwanda in the making, and I'm here to bring attention to the cause so that nobody can claim ignorance. This has been an ongoing issue for the past 2 months. On November 4th, the government of Tigray declared a full-scale war on the people of Tigray for simply exercising their constitutional right to vote. The government of Tigray is run by dictator Abiy Ahmed, and he has colluded with dictator Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea to commit a full-scale genocide in Tigray. A couple months ago, we were supposed to have our national election, and Abiy Ahmed decided to cancel his election and remain in power, despite the fact that it was his time to go. He knew that we didn't want him anymore. He was scared. Okay. And the people didn't go for it. The people of Tigray still held their regional elections. And in reaction to that, the government of Tigray committed a full-scale genocide. For the past 2 months, the people of Tigray have been cut off. There's been a telecommunication blockade. We have not been able to talk to our families for 2 months. Phones, internet, banks, air, travel, roads, everything has been cut off. There's 56,000 people who have fled to Sudan seeking refuge, and the rest that are now trying to enter Sudan have not been allowed to because Ethiopian troops are at the border sending them back. There has not been any food or water given to these people for the past 2 months. There's 4.2 million people who are currently in need for emergency aid that don't have it. 2.3 million of them are children, and 2.5 million people are internally displaced. This is a crisis on a huge scale. I'm terrified for my people. The Ethiopian, I have families and relatives that I know personally who have been murdered currently, and it breaks my heart because the people of Tigray are peaceful people. They're not people of violence. We're here seeking peace, and we've been urging the international community to intervene for peace talks and to open humanitarian corridor into Tigray and save these people, to save the children, to feed the children. And it breaks my heart that the international community has not responded in the way that we need to. We need to apply economic pressure on Ethiopia to back out of the war and seek peaceful results, because the way they're doing right now is another Rwanda in the making, is another Yugoslavia in the making. And it breaks my heart. I really hope that you guys, I have these flyers here that break down everything. If you guys have time, please come and pick one up. It'll educate you guys a little bit more on what's going on and give a good breakdown of what's happening. But I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to speak, because the right to vote is something that America has fought for, has claimed to fight for all over the world. So the fact that it's now being infringed upon in Ethiopia, the American government needs to step in like they stepped in before and protect the people's right to vote. Because that's the only thing we have. Is we, the people, need to be able to stand up and fight for ourselves. And if we don't have that simple right to be able to speak on our behalf, there's nothing we'll be able to accomplish. And that's exactly what we're trying to do in Tigray. And we're being punished for it, murdered for it. They're attacking infrastructure, bombs, hospital, mosques, churches. They're demolishing everything. You know, Tigray is one of the most oldest civilizations on the planet. So this isn't just our history; it's human history that they're getting rid of. And I really
really need everybody to really feel my pain here because it's really breaking my heart, guys. What they're doing is not okay. And I really hope you guys really hear me when I say this. It's not okay. And I really appreciate you guys giving me this platform to speak on it. And thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much. Please give that person some more than I came up and talk. There's another speaker that would like to speak, but I really just want to emphasize, sorry, what you said, when she said Rwanda, it made me think of the movie Hotel Rwanda, and see what happened with those people. I know it's just a movie, but it was a depiction of what real life is like. And Black and brown people are suffering all over the globe, and the fact that people are getting murdered for just simply saying they want to vote. And I know my people died to get the right to vote. It just really touched me. So if you can, please make sure you pick up a flyer. Please make sure you do research and really get the education out there, and find ways that we can really help these people. Because if we're talking about we want a new change, we want a new society where everybody's taken care of, it's not just here, it's globally. So we have to think of a global scale because Black and brown people are always oppressed all over the world. Anti-Blackness is global. And what is happening to those people is not right. So we have to do it upon ourselves to do research. Black Action Coalition will post flyers and more research. Just let you guys know. Because just, stand up, hearing that, it just really does break my heart. So we have another person. So please give it up for them. It's not easy to get up here. Calm down. Thanks again for coming out again, you guys. I know this week again was another morale blow as far as watching a whole bunch of fucking white people walk up to the Capitol steps, walk in and disregard the quote-unquote people's house, which we could more formally call the white people's house, because that's what it is. We could not have done that, right? BLM could not have walked up to those steps and had that same reaction. We wouldn't have made it to the steps. We wouldn't have made it past the barricade. So I am grateful that you guys are out here because I am beat. I'm spiritually fucking beat this week. And I spent yesterday processing, and I spent today shedding some tears, which is a healthy response to when your nation is falling apart. You feel like you don't have any power or autonomy. So it really is important that you guys get out here, even if it just means that it gives somebody else in the movement motivation to continue to do so. Who is familiar with Leonard Peltier? Okay, he's going on his 4th decade in federal prison for the murder, quote unquote, of 2 FBI agents. Who he wasn't there for. He wasn't actually at this shootout that happened on Pine Ridge Reservation. His girlfriend at the time was coerced by the FBI to write a statement saying that he was. He's been in jail for fucking 4 decades, and he had nothing to do with the crime. So it's things like that, right? That I could see him at. He was protesting for, he was a member of the American Indian movement, protesting for Native rights in the 70s, in the 60s, asked there by other natives because he had some name power, right? Like he had a little bit of motivation behind him and that was working for him. Yet it didn't matter when it came down to it because he was still labeled and tagged with a murder that he didn't commit. Who knows Nick Tilson? Nobody. All right. I'm not surprised. There are not many people that know Native Americans in this country and what they do and what they stand for. So that's a guy that stood up for Standing Rock. And that, I think, is why I'm more emotional this week. Is because there were people that lost limbs due to hypothermia when they were sprayed with water cannons at Standing Rock. They were tear gassed. They were met with rubber bullets. They were physically injured. Somebody lost an eye out there. I think somebody might have lost an ear. Either way, the treatment that Native and Black people get in this country compared to that of white fucking Americans is deplorable. It's deplorable. It's despicable. It's disgusting. And it honestly makes me sick to a place in my body that I can't understand. So Nick Tilson did some prison time over that. He's looking at 17 years, which he may or may not get. The funny thing is, all these people that rushed the Capitol building the other day, they saw the judge yesterday. Zoom. They were all told that their court dates are going to be in June. They were all asked to stay out of Washington, D.C. When their lawyers argued they need to go through D.C. to get back to Florida or back to their shithole wherever they live, where they're from. They were told, okay, just don't go back to the Capitol building, right? And Leonard Peltier can't get a room outside of a fucking jail cell right now. That's the disparity that we talk about when we talk about racism and the unfair treatment and how unequal things work in this country. Those people will come back in June. They'll get a slap on the wrist. There were murders that happened at the Capitol building, actual legitimate murders. Who knows if we're ever going to find their killers, right? Like the cops that died due to damages from a fire extinguisher. The woman who was shot to death by cops. So they, of course, will not see jail time, right? And a guy that takes himself in the fucking balls. Fucking hard track. Please, soldier. We want to see consequences for that. I doubt that they will. I don't think that they're going to. And I don't know how to change that, right? I know there's a cop around here right now. I know there's some cops in there. Right? You guys know 6 cops at least were there off duty at that protest on Wednesday. 6 motherfucking cops went to that goddamn rally, showed their badges, walked past the barricade, and were able to enter that fucking building where people died. That means 6 of them were corrupt and complicit. How many of you here at West Precinct are corrupt and complicit in your racism? All of you, why? Because you're still on the force. If you haven't quit it yet, it means that you are complying to the illegal activity, the domestic violence, the extortion, all the things that happen about Republicans on or off duty. You have sat by and watched while your union has protected them over and over and over again.
Down with Spawn!
Down with Spawn! And none of you are interested in changing it. Not from what I see. So, when you rest your heads here at night, you go home and feel good about the duty that you have done serving the city of Seattle. Remember that at least 6 fucking officers walked into that building on Wednesday and committed tyranny and treason on this country. And that you are just like them. You are not that different.
Fuck SPD!
Like, for example, Officer who makes a projected $130,000 a year. 1995, Dornay held a gun to a man's head in a road rage incident.
Jesus.
Nothing happened.
Shocker.
He didn't even get suspended for that. 2003, Dornay and several other officers beat a 65-year-old Haida man who suffered a ruptured spleen and nearly died. He was suspended for, no, he wasn't suspended at all. 2005, Dornay and several other officers strip searched 3 men in the same room.
The fuck?
2006, Dornay instigated a brawl outside of the bar and shot someone. This was off duty. They covered the charges. 2010, Dornay was convicted of drunk driving. He was suspended for 30 days. 2013, Dornay spun donuts on his neighbor's front lawn. He was suspended for just 30 days. In 2015, Dornay beat a handcuffed man in a holding cell. He was suspended for another 30 days. So he has broken the law over 10 times, shot, beat somebody naked, and he's only been suspended maximum 90 days, and he keeps 10 promotions. And he's also one of the lead officers in the protest unit. Then we got Lieutenant Laura Alcantara. I can't say her name, Alcantara. She was disciplined in 2015 for an incident when she was caught on camera calling a suspect a fucking Negro. In her defense, the blonde hair fair scandal launcher said she considers herself a person of color. While investigating the case, Olivier found that she had also lied about a newsroom rifling through the suspect's vehicle. Due to presumed penalty for dishonest termination, she was saved by the statute of limitations and by the bottom contract. Another reason why we need to abolish the police.
The one that androids use.
For a life